our goal is to build the absolute best endurance products in the world. These athletes give us the input they need to make sure they can compete with the best people out there. That's how we build our products. PreRace, this is our final product we're going to go over. This is a stimulant. This is a product that makes you go like gangbusters. It's a we call it PreRace as a pre-exercise supplement, but in reality, a lot of people are using this in their training and during exercise as well. It's got caffeine, taurine, citrulline malate, quercetin, theobromine, DMAE, catechins, and malic acid. It works on a couple different mechanisms. You have the caffeine that's obviously a stimulant. I think you guys all understand caffeine. Citrulline malate is a pretty potent nitric oxide booster. So what nitric oxide does, which I think probably many of you understand, it vasodilates your blood vessels. So you have caffeine giving you the stimulant, then you have blood vessels that are larger so you can pump more blood. L-taurine improves cardiac output. So now you have a heart that can contract better, larger blood vessels, and the caffeine. Those three mechanisms together, in addition to some ingredients that improve mental focus and clarity, allow you to go really, really hard in that training session. Yeah.
Now I know with the caffeine it kind of vasoconstricts and nitric oxide vasodilates. Like, wouldn't they contradict each other into what you're trying to achieve?
In theory, yes. In practice, we actually did a clinical study. In a clinical study, we took cyclists that came in and they got on a cycle ergometer and they did a 40K time trial. They went 40 kilometers as hard as they possibly could. And we took some baseline measures. We measured their watts, we measured their heart rate, we measured their RPE, their rate of perceived exertion. And then they came in a week later and they got either a placebo or they got the PreRace. They didn't know which one. And then they came in a week after that and we switched them. So they got the placebo, PreRace first week, and the placebo the second week. And some people got the PreRace first, placebo second. Others got the placebo first, PreRace second, so there's no training effect there. After the 3 trials, the people that used the PreRace increased their watts by 15. They increased their 40K time trial by 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And here's what's significant. Heart rate did not change at all. And RPE, their rate of perceived exertion, did not change at all. So based on the theory of our mechanism, it worked exactly like it should. Your heart rate did not change at all, but you're able to pump more blood through the bloodstream and create more watts. So based on the theory, there should have been some vasodilation there, and it wasn't affected by the caffeine. So, yeah.
Okay, so now that's significant.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's too much almost, we thought initially.
Right. So your first 5 minutes was all about no banned substances.
You're right. It's funny, when I give this talk...
If I'm the IOC and I see this happening,
yeah,
I'm going to start researching your product.
So imagine standing up in front of 50 professional cyclists and telling them that they can now 3 minutes and 15 seconds off their time.
Right, because that's... and I mean, and that's going to help soccer players, basketball players, anybody really. So
normally my talk on PreRace starts with this product should be banned.
Right.
Because it works so well, but it's not.
So you guys are talking, I'm assuming, with all these different international bodies that have a banned substance list, and you throw this at them and they go, okay, great.
They don't ban products. They ban individual ingredients and substances. Caffeine is not banned. Theobromine, which is active ingredient in cocoa, is not banned. Citrulline malate is, none of those things are banned. You combine those things together, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and you have something that's very, very effective. So, should it be banned? Yeah, maybe, but it's not. Yeah.
So, but in college sports, caffeine is a regulated substance. So, would that be something that we want to watch if we have a college athlete that's going to do?
My understanding, it's not. It was regulated a few years ago, but they changed that regulation back.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They switched
That's
it back.
I was with college sports 2 years ago. So,
but just to give you an idea,
from
the caffeine level, there's 200 milligrams of caffeine in there.
Yeah, because I know that they
Starbucks
have
is
a Red Bull or 2. that could pop on there.
Yeah. Currently, caffeine is not banned. It was banned, and currently it is not banned. So the product is legal. Yeah. So.
Talk about the taste.
Yeah. It's the worst thing that you've ever tasted, and I'm not kidding. The reason it is because.
I know. I'm like, I'm taking that all the time.
I'm the R&D guy, not the sales guy. So. Now the reason we did that is it's only active ingredient in here. There is nothing else in here but active ingredient, nothing else. It's a tiny little scoop, like the end of my pinky, and you can add it to any drink you want. The reason we did that is because to flavor this, we would have had to add carbohydrates. We don't like to use any artificial sweeteners or artificial flavors, so we would have to add carbohydrates. And if you're going to take this before exercise, electrolytes are important. And then all of a sudden, this formula was adding PreRace to EFS. So we said, why are we going to do that? We have EFS. Let's make, and this gives people the ability to add it to anything they want. You can add it to a liquid shot if you want. You can add it to any drink you want. And now you have something that's more flexible in your ability. And then you can dose it accordingly now, too. You can do half a scoop. 20 minutes before, or if you're going real long, a lot of people are using it during exercise.
And that was one of my questions, was then how long does the effect last if you're playing something that's going to last?
Everyone's different. Some people really notice it for an hour and a half on the low end, others for 5 hours on the high end. I think on average 2.5, 3 hours is about what you'll notice the product. But
what about if I'm just going out at night?
So much of it comes down to the caffeine. 200 is a pretty big shot. So, what's the crash effect?
Anecdotally, we've been told that you don't get the jitters and the caffeine kind of high, the kind of jitters. Everyone is different with stimulants. So we've been told you don't get that crash, but I certainly don't recommend using it at 8 o'clock at night for a hard workout. You may be up for quite some time. So it's something you want to experiment with. The other recommendation, we call it PreRace, and a lot of people wait for race day to use it. Really the best way to use this product, you get better as an athlete in your training. The best way to use this once a week, pick that intense training session, whatever that training session is, and use it then. Once a week, every single week. Your ability to go much harder on that training session is going to make your body adapt to that intensity. And adapting to that intensity makes you a better athlete that way. And then you also clearly understand on race day, if you have a race, how it's going to affect you on race day. Our recommendation is also, this is pretty potent stuff. Outside of 200 milligrams of caffeine, it feels, I think, more like 300 or 400 milligrams of caffeine. We recommend a half a scoop to start for anybody out there. And then, you can change it from there. So, bottom line, the absolute highest quality. Again, this is critical, not only for our customers out there, for the professional athletes out there, making sure there's no banned substances. Highly, highly research-based formulas. Okay, we look deeply into the clinical research out there, and in the end, our goal is none other than making the best endurance supplements in the world. That's it. That's who we want to be. We don't want to be anybody else. Our goal is to build the absolute best endurance products in the world. These athletes give us the input they need to make sure they can compete with the best people out there. That's how we build our products.